So it's almost here. It's that time of year where it's unavoidable to be around family and big groups of people that we may or may not feel comfortable around. Sometimes we feel so inadequate that we just want to feel accepted. And then sometimes we just flat out are dragged kicking and screaming by our spouse. Luckily, that's not the case with me, but it has been in the past. I'm not going to lie. Hi, my name is Tina Briggs, and I am a certified crystal healer, an energy worker, and I am a life coach and a level 2 numerologist. And so I am on YouTube to help guide people who might need a little bit of help in different directions spiritually, and also just to give you guys a little bit of life sense, I like to call it. It's a little bit different than common sense, and it's not necessarily about being book smart either. It's just life sense. So today I'm going to introduce you to a few crystals, and they will help you with different situations when it comes to visiting family for Thanksgiving or whatever the holiday is that is coming up for you in the state or country where you live. And so I am going to start out with talking about selenite. And the reason that I really like selenite is because it is a stone that provides happiness and light and positivity. It just radiates this beautiful white light. And there's so many different ways that you can work with this. This is actually the top to a lamp. You can just set this beautiful piece on a lamp and it lights up the selenite, and then it radiates all throughout the room. And it's really, really hard to stay in a bad mood or angry whenever you are around selenite. It is also great for protecting your energy fields. A lot of people who are spiritual, before they will do meditations, like a deep dive meditation or any kind of ritualistic work or anything really where they're bringing in energy, they will open an energetic circle protecting their energy field with selenite. I also love wearing, I think I already showed you this, but I love wearing selenite. This is actually my personal bracelet that I wear every single day. And it just, it makes you feel good. It's a stone of happiness. It brings you clear vision too. So sometimes you get a little bit lost in the chatter, right? You're around a bunch of people and it's like, oh my gosh, no, I don't want this person to come talk to me. Oh, hey, you're here. Oh, well, what do I do now? You've got to just kind of endure it. And you don't want to be grumpy, and I'm speaking from experience here, and I'm kind of laughing because of all the situations in the past that I can think of where, you know, somebody didn't like the way that I was acting because I wasn't talking enough, or maybe I was correcting the behavior of my child in a way where they didn't deem it appropriate. There was an instance where my toddler was playing on steps and I corrected him and I was told, now is not the time for that. Okay, well, I also don't really want to let my baby get hurt, so I'll be in charge of that. And so then we need something that will help us stand in our power and speak our authentic truth without becoming aggressive, and with people understanding our side. Opening the throat chakra, but helping the other person understand where we're coming from and not have that confusion. Have you ever been in a situation where you are talking with someone and it just goes downhill really quickly and you're like, what the heck just happened? I don't even understand how you could think I meant this when I was talking about that. This stone is called amazonite, and it is excellent to help in matters of communication. So that's another really great one. You can either wear that on your arm on a bracelet, or you could wear it if you like wearing jewelry. You could carry a tumble stone of that in your pocket. That's another really great way of working with it, or having it with you. That's not like, you're wearing 50 different bracelets or something like that, like I would. But if you're wanting to really go into a situation and not feel anxious, which that's another problem that we all have during the holidays, is anxiety. Just thinking about it sometimes makes me anxious, because it's like, okay, what am I walking into? Or you're tired from being on an airplane. So I have a couple of remedies for both of these situations. The first one is Lepidolite. And Lepidolite is this beautiful metallic purplish silver crystal that helps us with anxiety. This one you can actually rub on, and the crystal will come off just ever so slightly. Or you could even tuck this one in your, if you're a female, in your bra, or you can put it in your pocket. And if you have it next to your skin though, it releases certain chemicals that will actually help relax your brain. And so it's a really beautiful crystal, but it's also extremely helpful. You could also work with a sphere of Lepidolite. And spheres are known to radiate energy in all directions of the room where they're sitting. So if you have a sphere that's Lepidolite and you put that in the room where everyone is gathering, or say you're going to someone's house and you want to gift them something, you can bring this beauty on a stand and say, oh, well, let's set it here and just see how everybody feels. Or you don't even have to even go that far. Here's a housewarming, or not housewarming. Here's a present for hosting. So you could always do that as well and get a little sneaky with it. Whenever you're in a situation where you're feeling a little anxious and you know you're walking into a kind of a situation where people might not be the nicest, or they stress you out, they're asking you a bunch of questions that you don't really want to answer. That'll help kind of ease you into the situation and let your anxiety go. That's super important for the holiday season. Another one that I must have is Smoky Quartz. Smoky Quartz is excellent at transmuting negative energy and turning it into positivity. And it is such a beautiful stone. This one has a big rainbow in it. And it's a stone of protection, of grounding. So if you're feeling like negative and you're just like, you can't stay centered or focused, you could also carry with you a tumbled stone and put it in your pocket, put it in your bra, and then that way you have it on you. It's very important to keep your darker stones cleared. And what do I mean by that is to give them a salt bath. My favorite is Himalayan pink sea salt. And I let them soak a couple hours or even overnight if you don't have that much time. I get a little bit ritualistic in the fact that I love doing things in threes. So if you want to soak it for a little bit and then dip it 3 times, 1, 2, 3, and then rinse it off with water so you don't get any salt deposits on it. And then you can either also charge it in the sunshine or under a full moon that is not an eclipse. And so these are great. It's not like you're going to walk around into a family or friend's home carrying this big smoky quartz, but you could get away with a tumbled stone, like I said, in your pocket, or you could also wear it as a bracelet. I have smoky quartz bracelets that I like to wear. And then if you are having to travel a long distance, which a lot of us have to travel to get to family because we're not in the same city or state, or in some cases even the same country. So a great stone that helps with energy is carnelian. And carnelian is a beautiful red stone that comes in all shapes and forms. You can get it in a flame, you can get spheres. And again, spheres just radiate that energy in the whole room. You might not want to bring this with you to the party unless it is on your wrist, because if it's on your wrist, then you are getting this energy given to yourself. Sometimes you might not want to stir up a big room full of a bunch of strong, enthusiastic energy, especially if you're just wanting to kind of stay under the radar or if you're tired. But you will want to wear this carnelian bracelet on your left hand. And why do we want to wear it on our left hand? Because our left hand is the side that our heart is on. It is our receiving hand. And so we put bracelets on our left hand of the energy that we are calling in to our bodies. On our right side, we are wearing bracelets that we are pushing out into the universe. So that is another great example. If you are just wanting to have a little bit of a buzz without drinking alcohol or caffeine or anything, just wear a carnelian bracelet and you'll be good to go. Won't be so tired. Sometimes we need to really just have a little bit of love and compassion. And rose quartz is the stone that is perfect for calling in love and compassion. And skulls represent our ancestors. So if there's anyone that you're missing at the party, you can always bring a skull that represents that ancestor that is no longer in this physical reality that we're in right now in the 3D/4D we're moving into, and 5D. That's a whole nother video. But this is a really great one that you can bring with you, or you can wear as a bracelet to call in love and compassion, and it'll kind of help soften your heart a little bit. You won't be so on edge or so charged or stressed. And then talking about ancestors, sometimes we are in a situation where we don't want to go to a certain house because we had a loss of someone who lived there. And so the holidays are really sad for some people because maybe they lost a mother or a brother or a sister or, whoever, a grandparent. And that's when it's excellent to use bronzite. Bronzite is a great stone to relieve grief, especially in sudden losses. And so this is my personal bronzite sphere that I work with. It's also just a really great grounding stone as well. And it does come in tumbles. And so you can stick this guy in your pocket. And another way you can work with these energies is to create a crystal grid. And before you go to said person's party or dinner, gathering, whatever you want to call it, you can create a grid, a peace grid, a anti-anxiety grid, a compassion grid, a grieving grid, or you could even combine 4 different stones and activate that grid and call in that energy for yourself. And that way it'll help provide you a little bit of those energies to help protect you or to help center you or whatever it is that you're trying to call in. It's just a really great way to work with the energy without showing up with a handful of crystals. I personally am that person who will be happy to walk in with crystals or to wear crystals, but some people aren't. I know in the beginning when I first started getting into learning about spirituality and crystals, sometimes I was a little bit less confident wearing them because I didn't know what people would think. And now I don't really, it's not that I don't care, it's just I have more confidence and I really stand in my power. And that is something that a lot of people will respect at your family gatherings, is whenever you do stand in your power. If someone says something to you that is hurtful or negative, you know what? Just grab that Smoky Quartz in your left hand and just smile. And you don't have to say anything rude or strongly react or cry. You can just hold this in your hand and just, you know what? Thank you. I appreciate that point of view. Or you could even say something like, well, that's interesting that you find that to be true. Okay, well, thank you for your opinion, or whatever. You don't have to accept it. You can kind of put it back on them like, huh, that's interesting. I'll keep that in mind. Or if it's a question you don't want to answer, you can be like, I'm just not really comfortable answering that question. But you don't want to be that family member or that friend who everyone is like, oh my gosh, she's in a mood. So you want to kind of stay grounded, stay even kilter. Even if you have to walk outside for a few minutes and take a breather, go sit in the grass and put your hands down on the ground and do a little bit of a grounding exercise. Do a little bit of breath work where you breathe in 3 times, slow, long breaths, and then let it out. And then you're nice and calm, and then you can walk back in the situation with a smile on your face and just be like, you know what? Okay, wasn't that bad. I can deal with this. I can handle it. So I wish you guys the happiest of holidays coming up. I'm sure I will be making more videos because, let's face it, we've all had our share of really interesting holiday seasons where we might take a break from the holidays the next year because of it. I know that's happened to me a few times in the past, and I know it's happened to other people. And I know that sometimes it even gets to a point where families kind of separate because they don't want to get together. And I think that's incredibly sad. But at the same time, it's also very important for us to hold our boundaries, stay in our power, but also be a team player. And so if there's anything that I've learned over the years, it's that it's important to try to stay centered. Don't go too far over here. Don't go too far over there. Just stay centered. Just be the one that people want to say hi to. But they know that you're not going to put up with any crap. And so just be that team player. I hope this was helpful. You can find me, guys, if you're interested in any of these crystals. I have an Etsy shop, and you can search for my full name, which is Tina Michelle with 2 L's, Briggs, on Etsy. I'm also on Instagram, same name. I'm also on TikTok, same name. I'm also on Facebook, and I do several Facebook lives where I do crystal sales, usually on Friday evenings. And I would love to have you guys join. I also lead a group called Let's Get Spiritual with Tina Michelle Briggs. And I also teach a manifestation class. So if you're interested in anything that I said today, or you are just interested in learning more about how to find your own crystal to help you out during the holidays, please reach out. Please give me a thumbs up. Please leave me a comment. I want to hear about your craziest experience that you've endured during the holidays and how you kept yourself centered, because I am also here to learn from you just as much as I want you to learn from me. So you guys have an amazing day. Please subscribe to my channel if you're feeling me, and have just the best day ever. And I will talk to you very, very soon.